people dislike me because I am not completely like them.
And in what way are you different?
Yo, yo.
This influences my thinking and consequently my actions.
What is it you're trying to do with your life?
I am trying to do with my life something which few people try to do. And
Hello, 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 hello. Oh. Hello. Hello. Coming in hot. What's up, homies? How are you guys doing on the do today? Oh, basically, it's feedback live stream number 39. We're getting down in the brink of time while drinking lemon lime with tequila slime. You know what I mean? Anyways, we have 16 submissions. 4 slots are left. Go in my Discord in the description if you want to submit your song so I can give you some feedback. We're going to go over volume levels, sound design, song arrangement, mixing, mastering, basically everything. We're going to see how we can improve upon your song. First submission looks to be Mondays. And let's go ahead and check out the art. Mondays with an upside down A. Napalm. Work in progress. I mean, might as well get it done for the get done. Let's go. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and new website is now up, dripment.com. Brand new sample pack is available as of today, 1 day early. You can go cop that. Let's go. Let's go. Hey. It's Mondays. Shout out to all the musicians. Shout out to all the pianists. That's Mondays. Coming in pretty hot with napalm work in progress. So basically, we have really nice, amazing flow, really danceable. The fake out in the beginning added so much energy. It's just, there's a lot of danceable rhythms in here, and it's really good to see. The thing, though, is it doesn't sound clean, unfortunately. It sounds pretty muddy. So when I say mud, I mean, if you look at the EQ, talking about like these frequencies over here, when these start to build up, it starts to sound muddy, not clean. You have to make sure you're EQing like, pretty high. 175 is usually really good starting point. You can go higher. If there's a lot of different basses, then you're layering all of them, so it starts to get really crowded from 100 to 300. Just want to make sure you clean that up. In many of these sections, most of the basses don't sound like they're EQ'd enough. They don't fit in the mix so that they complement each other. It's more like they're competing in the stereo image and competing in the frequency spectrum. You just got to be careful. Like sometimes in some of the phrases, the side signals super wide. Sounds like there's too much lows and mids, so you just got to be careful. Make sure you're EQing every individual track. And then sections like this, you can hear like timing errors. You just want to make sure that you get all these fixed up. If there's like a break in the timing, then we'll lose flow and like get, because you were lost in the sound, right? And then you hear that timing mess up, and then it like takes you back out to reality. And no one wants to be in reality. Just kidding. But you know what I mean. So keep them lost in the sound. Keep them flowing. Make sure the timing's good. With rhythm and dubstep, we do a lot of stuff. It's delayed or off timing, but it's like strategically placed. So if you're doing something creative like that, just make sure that you do it proper. And to do it proper, you listen in the full context. Like listen to the whole drop. You have to like listen to bigger sections when you're monitoring it rather than just listening to the sound as you're making it. You got to listen to like the whole phrase or the whole drop to see how that rhythmic timing meshes with all the rhythms around it. And then over here, you can like start to change up the tone. If it's all high pitched at the beginning, you can start to change it up to like low pitches at the end. And then that will be adding variation, keeping the listener engaged, because otherwise the energy level starts to go down rather than go up, because we just heard so much of it already at the beginning of the drop. And then over here, the fake out is just too long. These are meant to, because you're building tension at the buildup. This fake out is supposed to build more tension after the buildup, which is like a special technique. But in this case, you're actually like, it's doing the opposite. The tension is lowering, and like you build up all this tension, and then now this is just like bringing it back down. You want it to be maximum energy when it hits the drop, basically. So you can cut that in half and easily do what you did in the first drop, and then fix the break accordingly as well to match. And then boom, you're on your way to a freaking banger, and everyone's going to go crazy because that's a good song. Got me dancing. The end, when you switch it up, becomes real stompy, and the bass and the sub is really nice. So good job. That's Mondays. I'm with Napalm, work in progress. Up next, who we got? We got Basics. Coming in with the Blood Sanctum. Final. Ooh, this is the final? Let's check it out then. Oh no. There's static. Static top. Come on, get off that propane. What in that? Come on, man. What just happened? Okay, talk about leaving a different leaving this zone and entering a different dimension. You know what I'm saying? That's the Blood Sanctum. Classically and naturally submitted by Basics. So that was heavy. We have really nice rhythms, really nice flows. This is good. This is really close to final. You know what I'm saying? There's like very small things like this thing where I say weak mono sig. Basically, when I'm listening to the main basses in the drop, it sounds like everything's spread out, and we kind of lost the mono middle signal. And because of that, you may have some issues. So like if you listened on your iPhone or, you know, like an older iPhone, like a speaker that's just mono, you may be able to hear that it doesn't sound the same. You want to make sure you check that. But most importantly, that's just phasing. Most importantly, what we're listening to, what we're hearing in the stereo is like everything's spread out, like almost too much space. So you want to make sure you have that space. We need that space. Keep it, but add an extra layer of mono because you have open space available. You know, load that up. Make sure there's no reverb. Make sure it's dry. Make sure there's no delays and stuff. And that can be running in the mono while everything else is running wide, because you really have to have that frequency spectrum and the stereo image balanced. You have the frequency spectrum nice and good. Now you just have to finish off the stereo image. That's super easy. You just find your main lead, duplicate it, take off all those effects and reverb like I said, make that your mono, call it a day. And then if you hear at the beginning, we shouldn't be hearing all this static. Starts right here. This static comes from like when we're filtering auto filters and like they're moving. Sometimes the resonance on the auto filter can cause this. Sometimes the algorithm of the auto filter can cause this. So maybe you can replace the auto filter with an EQ8 and do automation that way instead for cleaner. And make sure using EQ in addition to cut the lows of all the stuff that's playing. You should only have one lows playing. The static usually comes from like the low buildup with filter. So yeah, cut your lows, my boy. Only leave one low, and then yeah, you should be able to find the problem. But this stupid static with low end happens all the time because we're compressing and things are clipping. But it's nice. Very good, dude. That's what I'm talking about. Untimed, the Blood Sanctum. You definitely, let me check this cover art. This is pretty cool cover art, but I think it could be better, you know, to really match. Like, I want to show you how easy it is nowadays, my boy. Check this out. For the Bing image generator, they have the new ChatGPT in the Bing generator, and it's really good. So, this is, okay, so cover art for song called Blood Sanctum. That has vibes of darkness. What are your favorite colors, Basic? Put it in the chat. Vibes of darkness, eerie, heavy drop, dubstep drop, horror, and need colors of, what are the good colors? Yeah, black, white, red. Okay, so let's see what Mr. Bingy will be able to do. We have a little gator. Sometimes this is fast. Sometimes it's not, but it looks like it's going decent. Oh, dude. Let's get it done. Look at that. Okay, so we're gonna download this. That looks beautiful. See, with this, I would just put it in Photoshop, you know, and add text, because you really need your own text, right? So you just make a Photoshop, put it in here, you add the text, and then you'll be able to do something cool. Starts off all big, you gotta make it all small. But once you do this, you'll have something sick. You know what I mean? Get it done, what to get done. Bing, bang, boom. I'll send this to you in the Discord room. Put it right here in the reply. Okay. All right, guys. We're going to move on. Up next, we have Oblivion with Slammed. Get it done. What's slammed? The whip or the clipper? Fucking THX, my boy. Woo!
His story is ours, and ours is his. Wars are won by those that are willing to sacrifice everything. That is the cost of vengeance. Love you with love.
Cost.
And ours is his.
Womp, 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 womp. Boy, that shit's lying. Asa! Well, goody goody. That sounded really cool, honestly. That was slammed by Oblivion. Naturally, officially, Oblivion slammed. This is really cool, man. So, this intro really caught me because today I was learning about horror movies and how they use, you know, weird techniques to get us to have tension and suspense. You know what I mean? Like psycho strings. And the beginning of this sounds like a psycho string buildup, and it's just fucked. And then it transitions to THX. Old school THX. Then we transition into freaking hard EDM, dubstep, like old school classical organ, just what a great bed of harmony and melody.
His story is ours, and ours is his.
These vocals are nice, but they're very like behind the scenes in the mix. You really want to start to understand how to layer your vocals, have a mono, have a stereo, make it loud. You know, use your reverb. That thing has to pop clear through the mix so that it's up front. So, just so you know, like when we're in this, we're basically in halftime. So you really want to make sure that with your drums and your rhythmic patterns, you have stuff going fast as well, so that we're bobbing our head twice as fast. It'll keep the energy moving, because if we're dancing in 70 this whole time, that's too long, and most people will think it's just too slow. So psychologically, we would be using both rhythmic patterns at the same time. Regular time, 140, 145, 150, whatever you are writing in, and then halftime, which is the patterns of this. So then like tambourines in the back, filtered out, like something fast. Fast stuff. Remember, this is EDM, electronic dance music. We have to be able to transition into this music after, you know, dancing, going crazy with the rhythm. We're basically in the regular time the whole time. We rarely would be going to halftime unless it's for creative purposes. And then also with the drum build up, the way these kicks build up, like it should be going, it's almost too long, because starting here, this is pretty much like an extended, because the build starts here. Boom. 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 Like it should have already dropped, basically. He should have made it, this whole section shouldn't be there. And then with this timing, I think this is the 8 bars. Yeah, this is the 8 bars. So then you make it fast within this 8 bars. You don't have a 16 bar build. If you were going to have a 16 bar build, then you have to like restructure the drums and all the impacts and the effects and the risers, and it becomes a much longer sequence. Definitely doable, but I mean, the song's not like demanding that long of a build up when you listen to the intro. So yeah. Then when we're here, you really just want to work on, you have some nice sounds, some decent call and response, but you want to make sure that these sounds are loud and they cut through the mix. So you just want to focus on parallel processing. You have a mono stereo signal, starts to get loud, then that'll get all these basses nice and fat, because you have a nice sub, but all those basses are like quieter and not as intense as the sub, especially these. These can easily be brought up with compression and parallel processing so that they're super heavy. once we get over here in these later phrases, you start to like get almost ear fatigue because there's not any silence. So it's just pretty much loud the whole time, and there's no fills of silence to break in between. So the dynamics start to like, you know, slowly progress down, and the energy starts to go down when all you could really do is just open up some silence. So sometimes in your fills, like over here, you could cut up silence. So take out all the drums, take out the sub, it'll be like just the mid bass going. Maybe you can have one snare, but you can do cool tricks where you remove the sub and you remove the hats, remove a lot of the sound so that you're going back and forth between loud to quiet. And that's what'll keep people dancing, keep things interesting. Then of course, man, add some nice impacts on your breakdowns. Basically, you have one cymbal crash. You need lots of impacts, lots of sweeps to match the energy level that was just playing previously in the drop. It needs to be a nice, natural transition from loud to quiet rather than an abrupt transition from loud to quiet. That'll help a lot. And then just double check on your sussy tones. When you're switching up the tone of your sussy, you have to make sure that it's in key, and you got to know what note you're choosing. If you're using a frequency shifter, there's frequency to note. Look at this, these sheets, frequency to note sheets, so that you can know what note you're on when you're on a different frequency, so that you can start tuning your sussies and getting them to sound proper. Otherwise, they'll just sound unnatural, sometimes dissonant, and slightly off. Just want to make sure looking into all these little details and nitpicky things, it'll make a big difference. Okay, cool. Good job, though. This is nice. I was dancing all the time. I was moving. I was grooving. There's good rhythms. There's good basses and sounds. I'm happy you did call and response. It made a world of a difference. You just need to get your basses loud and clear in the mix, because right now they're kind of hidden. They sound like they're in the background. Easy fixes. Watch the parallel processing video, my dog. Up next, we got Necrotic. Necrotic. You know what? Maybe it's right. Maybe it's wrong. But we got exterminate. Let's get it done. Welcome. Let's go. Okay. All right, dude. That's pretty good. How long did you say you were making the music for? Let's see. 6 months, I believe. Where are you at right here? Okay. Where is it at? Necrotic. Okay. Producing 5 months. I've been a DJ for 6 years. I dove into making my own stuff. You know what? This is a fun time. I assume you love rhythm. This is rhythmy. We're at the rhythm function, you know, as soon as this opens up, it's a whole, the drop quality compared to the intro quality is like, it's like completely different. So I think it's real important that we get what's super important to know is the tension that's built before your drop, which is in the buildup, is almost as important as your drop. Because if you build a lot of tension and you release it to something that's heavy like this, it has more energy. And we want to build as much energy as possible. So yeah, we can work on these buildups strategically and make things easy by using reference tracks. I just made a video about using reference tracks, and you study how they made their intro, how they made their breakdown, how they made their buildup. And you basically structure your intro, buildup, breakdown in the same timing. So you'll look at their 8-bar intro or their 4-bar intro, 8-bar buildup, 8-bar breakdown, and look at these things and then kind of go there, see like how the drums work, where they put drums. It's all about building dynamics, right? The start of the song is quiet. You slowly start to add instruments and sounds, so it gets louder. Breakdowns, buildups, those are getting louder, building tension, and then boom, drop. That's the loudest part of your song. You're just looking at those things in your reference tracks, and you can watch that video. It'll help you a lot. This only has drums and synths. You'd need a lot more instruments like impacts, sweeps, fill your lows, mids, highs. You'll have like synths, sub, highs. You have harmony, which are chords. You have melody, which are the notes on top of the chords, which could be single notes. So yeah, watch my other videos on how to do those, but the reference tracks will kind of show you where to layer, structure, and kind of assign everything. It's like a little template. It's awesome. Okay, drop now. This is a really fun time, right? We get thrown into this heavy rhythm function. Sounds good. Only thing that is an issue is that it's not loud enough. Now, I mean, it sounds loud enough. We're at -9. We barely made into the single digits, which is what I recommend. You're at least in the single digits. But if you're wanting to play like some heavy rhythm, some loud dubstep, and you want to like DJ this song next to, you know, your other favorite song, this will sound quieter. And because of that, it'll sound like it has lower energy and just won't hit the same. So that mix and master is really important to make sure that we hit an appropriate LUF level. So like maximum super loud is -2, which is like tearout level. But you don't need to be that loud. You can be like maximum -4, but minimum shouldn't be -9. We need to get a little bit louder than this. So minimum, we can go to like -6 LUFs. You know, that's what I would shoot for on this, just -6 LUFs. And then it'll make a lot of a difference, just a little bit of LUF. And you'll see adding that much more volume or gain with the mix that you already have may be, you know, hard, maybe a challenge. And that's, you know, kind of that's the whole point of being a good mix engineer. So you just got to make sure you're EQing properly so that you can compress, pull things up, make them louder, and then filling out the stereo image. So make sure you have a mono signal playing with a wide signal, and then everything will be fat. That's how we get it done, man. And just a little bit sprinkle in a little bit of verb, you know what I'm saying? A little verb. Right here, we lost our sub. So nice sub, right? Boom. Sub, right? But the pitch bend on this has basically killed the sub. You gotta be very careful with your pitch bend. It's sensitive. So rework your pitch bend. Make sure that you still have the full intensity of your sub. Remember with your sub frequencies, it's not about hearing it. It's about feeling it. If you can hear it, it doesn't really matter. It's about feeling it in your chest. That's what these low frequencies are for. That's what bass music is. These low frequencies like activate stuff in the universe. Once they go into our soul, it activates stuff in our soul. And yeah, don't take it away from us right here. Come on, man. We need that soul dust, man. Once we get over here towards the later phrases, you start to have too much fills and breaks. So when you're making your song, listen to the whole drop and listen to how things flow from phrase to phrase rather than just making one phrase at a time, because you'll get in this little rut where you're just breaking off too much, because we want to dance as much as possible, right? We dance literally as much as possible until it gets repetitive. Then you start adding in your fills, silences, breaks, so that we keep the energy pumping. You know what I'm saying? Good job though. Good job on the rhythm. Hit me up if you need help with anything. You're doing good. And remember, stay in key. Jesus. It sounded in key. I'm not saying you weren't in key, but just in general, everyone stay in key. All right. Up next, we got Zika.wave with Money Trees. Money Trees, Zika, WIP. Cover art here. Let's get it done. Let's go. Everybody go respect the shooter. But the one in front of the gun ever. One in front of the gun is forever. Now they Luca Nelson alleyways just to say Money Trees is the perfect place to shade, and that's just how. Let's go. Lives forever. Yeah. Under the gun lives forever. Under the gun. Shut up, hey, alley face. What you say? What you say? Zika. In front of the gun.
Be the last one not to get stole. Oh wait, I wanna bucket head hoes. Oh wait, hit the streets and we break the code.
Let's go.
Oh wait, hit the brakes when they on patrol. No way, be the last one not to get stole. Oh wait, I wanna bucket head hoes. Oh wait, hit the streets and we break the code. Oh wait, hit the brakes when they on patrol. No way.
Let's go. Yeah.
Be the last one not to get stole. Get the brakes when they on patrol.
No way. Let's go.
Be the last one not to get stole. Get the brakes when they on patrol.
Let's go with the Money Trees. Nice. Cool. Alright. That was one of my favorite songs, Money Trees, if you couldn't tell. Before, like, around the time I downloaded Ableton, I think, is when I first heard this song. I was jamming to this song all the time, so I remember all kinds of stuff back then. Hearing this is nice. I really like how the energy is built with the vocal, and it drops just perfect timing, you know. Unfortunately, though, we go straight into a response bass. That's just, you know, really, it gets repetitive after a while of just hearing this rhythm. So if you did like call and response and simply had a different rhythm play here or a different tone, and then it leads into this. So basically the call would go here. And we just want to go back and forth. We don't want to have just one bass playing, you know. There might be multiple layers, but the main rhythm and the main tone that we're hearing is just one formed bass. We want to make sure that we have different calls and response so that it doesn't get too repetitive, because it gets pretty repetitive towards the end of all these phrases. And then the repetitive those are good, but they're just too dry. Like, you want to be able to match every sound sonically with what's playing around it. So if you simply added some EQ, maybe added a cool delay to add metallic effect, or a serum effects with a comb filter, you know, you got to make that vocal sound like it's part of the dubstep realm. It can't be dry and sounding like it's from the pop realm. We definitely don't want that. So yeah, really just fit that sound into the mix, and then match the timbre with some really sick metallic effects that can match your drop, you know. Your drop's rhythmy. Okay, and then the last most important thing about this song is we don't have enough sub. I mean, obviously the sub's there, right? But when you take a step back and compare the sub to everything, it's like, oh, the sub's actually not even the main thing in the mix. It's like everything else. And then you realize, oh, the sub is like basically sustained. Like, it doesn't ever hit zero volume. It basically stays full volume, and then it has slight movement. It's like it's wiggling on top. Like, vroom, 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 but it never. So like on Serum, you basically would need to have your LFO go all the way. So what we're hearing could be Serum in this mode. So if you have the level up, we can have it sustained. But if you get the level down, we go from 0. It sounds like his sub is like this. Like this sub right here, you know what I'm saying? With a little bit of wiggle. Like, this is basically what we're hearing. You just gotta pull that bar down. Because if it's the same the whole time, we listen to 4 bars of that sub, and then energy level just boom goes down, because like our ears start to get used to it. You know, our ears start to get used to sounds after a while. That's what's happening here. You know, the sub needs to have movement, and the movement would match the movement of your mid basses, which are those rhythm functions, and then boom, those match in harmony. The rhythm's in harmony, the tones are in harmony because you're in the same key, root note, hopefully. And then boom, bada bang, cha-cha-ching, you have some sick dynamics in your sub. And then of course, if you want some special phrases, have like sustained sections, you can like sprinkle in a little bit of sustained sub. That would be sick. And then you can go back and forth between regular sub, sustained sub, and do cool creative stuff like that. Definitely something you want to look into, because that sub, remember, is the main thing in bass music. That is our bass. That's the sub bass. That's the fun time. That has to be taken care of like a little baby in the NICU. A little baby that is about to die, you say, sub, you're not dying. I'm going to take care of you with EQ8. I'm going to take care of you with proper LFO automation, baby. You are now alive. You can grow into a beautiful distorted sub and grow some highs on top of your head. It's a done deal. All right. Up next, we have Trojan Volume 2, the one and only Mpsy. Mpsy has submitted a lot. He's known for unique productions on a sonic level. He's compared to Mozart in most scenarios. He's also compared to Dr. Dre in other scenarios. So this is a fun time for all of us. Let's get it in. Holy moly. That stereo image is just wow. Mpsy's out searching for the blade. I was in the forest right now, man. Oh my God. Oh. Mpsy. Oh. Jeez, my guy. Nice. That's what I'm talking about. Mpsy coming in with some spicy Wookie wooked out. Someone caught the wook flu with this one. Wooked out. Trapaholics Mixtapes Volume 4. Basically, in the first drop. Okay, so first drop. Before I get to the drop, the intro is just. I kept waiting for something to get repetitive. I kept waiting for you to do something wrong somewhere, and all the way up to the build-up, everything sounded clean, casual. You kept introducing new elements, and it was just perfect, you know? I really like it. When we get led into this, though, we could use a pre-drop for sure. Well, a pre-drop will make a huge difference in making this sound a lot more professional. This whole song sounds really professional, but something like this, no pre-drop, just makes it sound very awkward, and that's an easy fix. I think you have one here.
You will die.
Yeah, it sounds so clean in this drop too.
You will die.
Get another pre-drop, probably no vocal, but just keep it silent, like, and get thrown into it for first drop. Right here. Yeah, just something silent. The more silent it is, so like just maybe one element, like a and then you just get thrown into the bass. Like, this is real yucky type stuff, and this is your own style. It's actually a lot more harmonic and has more feeling than something you would hear from Yucky. So this is, it's impressive, man. I really like this style from you. When we get to the second drop, you start having these new basses come in. A really good layering, you know, really good layering with the basses here. It's nice. In the middle of this, see how the whole drop, there's really not one silence. You can just add like maybe 2 or 3. So like after this, after your first 8 bars in your drop, you want to add a fill. A silent fill, right? If you reference a Yucky track, you'll see that's how their drops are. Those silent fills like make it bounce up and they get thrown back into the sub. And that's what you need, like adding more energy in the middle of the drop to keep people dancing and freaking out. This good, man. I remember being at Lost Lands listening to some stuff like this, and you know, the drugs take over. Up next, we have Vlad with melodic dubstep, work in progress. We got the Fox, we got the coolness. We have Vlad coming in with a pretty generic title, I have to say. You know, maybe I would work on a little bit more artsy. You have ChatGPT for free in your hands. You could just ask it. I'll show you. Go ChatGPT. Say, hello, ChatGPT. Be like, ChatGPT, I need something. I need 5 track names for a melodic dubstep song, and my brand has foxes in it. Let's see what it gives us. We have ethereal foxfire, naturally. We have whispering willow foxes, you know. And then you could be like, ChatGPT, please, don't be so cheesy. Make it more simple and let's have it be based on electronic dance music. Bada boom, bada bang. And then now we got the Fox Beat Fusion. We got the Echoing Fox Groove, Synth Fox Serenade. Say, and then we have to remember more melodic dubstep type beat. Okay, so we got Vixen's Melody. That's actually pretty sick. So you see, there's a lot of cheese you have to get through. You know, get through the cheese, but you don't. You could just talk to ChatGPT however you want. And you got like luminous tail. You know, that's pretty sick. Aurora Fox. You know, dope. It's just something to think about, you know. This is very quickly. Get your mind open, get your brain thinking. Vlad up next with melodic dubstep, WIP, WWIP. Let's get it. D minor, my favorite minor.
Was it enough for you? Was it too tough for you?
Oh yeah.
'Cause now you're drifting away.
Vlad. Oh gosh, it shouldn't have ended. That's for sure. That was a tease into some harmonies from a melodic dubstep guy named Vlad. Was wow, dude. Okay, so let me break it down. Let me tell you why this is so proper. The harmonic structure has so much feeling built into it that you almost explode in such feeling. We gradually build up in energy to this drop, and then you match perfect harmony with the most important instrument, which is our voice, humming, beautiful hum. And then all the layers underneath it are just in harmony with the hum. And it's so heavy yet beautiful. Like it makes me smile, man. It's not loud enough though. It sounds like this is an unmastered song. If you're making dubstep and making electronic dance music, you should be mixing and mastering as you go. You really shouldn't have to send your songs to mastering engineers and stuff, because it kind of sounds like this would need to be mastered. You can master it yourself, you know, just focus on parallel processing, focus on EQ, get this to like -6 LUFS, get your intro to like -11 LUFS, and really just take it to an extra step to make it sound professional, because you're able to arrange a really nice song. You're able to put layers together beautifully. And then lastly, unexpectedly, how many Lees am I going to hit? Jet Li, Chen Li. We run into the future bass wobbles, like the saw wobbles. Oh, but what a beautiful thing. Look at that. He does call and response in here. Look at this. It happened so fast you didn't even realize. Beautiful fills. And then the use of like unique chords. I mean, there's just so much going on. That's so nice. Get lost in the sound. Vlad, definitely this is something you should be doing more of. This melodic dubstep, you're good with those keys, my boy. You know what I'm saying? You're good with those keys, man. And then remember, using that voice makes a huge difference. If that humming wasn't here, it would not be, wouldn't be the same. You know? Wouldn't be the same. So this is just well thought out, just needs to be mixed and mastered and finished. It's too short. That was a tease. Tease on me. Not fun. Finish that song. Good job, Vlad. Very nice, very nice, very nice. Up next, we have Demented. Stop playing, bro. Yo, you better stop playing. We've got Demented on your ass. Look at this cover art. I think that's Satan. Maybe one of Satan's, like little homies. Maybe. I don't know, dude. Let's get it done.
Hi, this is Donald Trump, and this is a Sauceman song. I had to make an intro due to copyright, so I hope you enjoy the tune. Let's begin. A certified sauce buster.
Don't play with me.
Whoa! Whoa! I know that guy. Oh.
Don't play with me.
Don't play. You better stop playing. Where's Triack?
Hey, Markiplier here. Do you want more SoundCloud follows? Maybe don't have enough plays on your song?
Way.
Well, go to www.buyyourwayintofame.com and get deals as soon as you sign up.
Oh, shit. Oh no, what's coming up next? The whole break? No, you guys don't play with me. Oh, the disrespect in this phrasing. Back up. Dude, that was Demented, man. He really didn't want anyone playing with him. So much happened in so little time. In 2 minutes, I had so much emotion. So many different thoughts. God, I don't even know what to say right now. Let me hear this one. Let me hear this drop. I can tell this part of the song was not a troll. I can tell that you tried on this. I can tell that you weren't playing. But then you started playing. You really started playing over here. And I really was telling you. I was telling you that. Don't play. You played. Anyway. This would have been really hard. I mean, it is hard, right? But there's no sub. There is a sub. I know there is a sub, but we can't feel or hear the sub. You can barely hear the sub and you can't feel the sub. Remember, like I said earlier, it's about feeling these low frequencies, not about hearing it. If you distort your sub bass, which sometimes you want to do, that's fine. Just make sure you keep that distorted layer as like a mid bass layer. You can cut the lows out and then add another layer for the lows. You have super lows, 0 to 100. Your distorted mids, mid lows, which is 100 to 300. And then boom, you have clean lows because you don't have any bass here. So like all the energy is lost and we have such cool rhythms and sounds and stuff, but there's no low end to match the intensity. And then the snare. Songs like this, you can have like big claps, like, and then mess with the release. Pretty dry, like trappy snare. I would use a clap, you know, and just try to get that thing wide. But overall, this is pretty sick and would be really dope after you put that sub in. It'll be heavy. You started playing over here. Like, that's kind of funny. Good job. You use my voice right here.
Don't play with me.
You get extra 420 points. So you equal out of a score out of 6,000, you equal about 4,420 out of 6,620. Good job. Good job. That's Demented. I'm going to stop playing. Up next, we have Alvo with Trash, possibly. All right. You guys chat Trash, possibly? He's asking. You can reply in the chat. We're going to analyze with the ears. Nice. That was trash. Interesting enough. Interestingly enough, it did sound like trash. Unfortunately. Unfortunately, this is a hot pile of noise. So, I'm not sure if you know this yet, but our genre is called electronic dance music. And the whole point of it is to make people dance. You know, when you listen to like a Murata tearout track, which is kind of the peak pinnacle of distortion and just heaviness and rowdiness, it's loud sounds and it's noise, but it's like controlled noise, noise that has dynamics, noise that's cleaned up with EQ to remove a lot of harsh frequencies. Lots of harsh frequencies are playing here, and there's a lot of buildups of like reverb. The reverb's uncontrolled, the space is uncontrolled. There's a lot of issues here with the mix sounding very muddy and very harsh and unclean. Especially this, like I'm not too sure exactly how you're listening to this and thinking it sounds good. This sounds like all of the noises are squashed together and just being played at the same time, and you can't really distinguish the difference between all your sounds. On top of that, there's no rhythmic flow between anything, so there's nothing to really dance to. There's drums, but the drums aren't there to make us dance unless you have sounds moving with your drum. So just, yeah, man, be careful. You don't want to be sending people frequencies that are just blasted through like this. And then remember, control white noises. So any noises, noise oscillators on Serum, any white noises, those are all going to be pulled up with compression. So always monitor the noise that's being introduced in all your basses and your phrases. It'll help. It shall help, my boy. It shall help. Okay. So this, Zika, he already submitted. Lodon is up next with a collab. What is this? We're Falling Down by In Vain and Lodon. Okay. Alright, guys. Let's get it down for the 1 time, for the 2 time, for the 3 time.
Fall down.
Ice cold with the blab, keep a stick in it. Ice cold with the blab, keep a stick.
Jeez. Wow. That was beautiful and heavy and just like majestical, magical, unbelievable. Crazy, man. Music is sure changing. You know, people's sonic landscape evolves by what they listen to. They just build upon it. This song specifically has really good structure, very good phrasing. You know, half of the drop is super melodic, the other half is super heavy with a sprinkle of melodic. The vocals are beautiful, perfect. The chords are really good. The whole feeling of it is awesome. The song is really close to like perfect, where it's super professional, but the thing where it lacks is just the overall quality of like the master and the mix, because there's so many layers. Like there's so much layers and so many different basses that are trying to compete for the mids, like 100 to 500. And then the stereo image is also full and things are trying to compete in the stereo image. And it sounds like the compressors are starting to squash the sounds, and it's starting to get like, all the sounds are starting to get placed in a bubble. And they're like need to breathe. You know, music doesn't sound overly compressed like this. Music sounds like it has space to breathe. And it's still heavy. Like you should be able to reach these volume levels and reach these intensity levels while still being able to have a super clear, clean mix. There isn't any reason for it to sound like it's in a bubble or getting squashed or squished together with compression. One of the main things I learned in school is that when you're using a compressor, you should just barely be using it. You can use like multiple compressors right after another. If they're like barely turned on, like 20% dry wet, for example. It's just like you have to be really careful with over compression. It's not, we have to like be super careful with that. It's really weird because in dubstep, we are so used to over compressing things because that's how we make dubstep basses. That's how we make cool sounds. It's by over compressing it. Just think, you're going to make your sounds by over compressing it. You're going to have groups that are over compressed. You have to then take a step back, send these groups, you can use buses, send these over compressed groups to other sections so that they can be cleared out. You can open up space in your mix, in your stereo image, or else it's all going to sound squashed. And then naturally, like, the A&Rs will listen to this and they'll think it's good, but they won't think it's, the top elite tier, which it's so close to being. You guys are so close. It's so sick. And definitely you want, in your future songs, you want to make sure you're doing song structures like this. All the fills, calls, responses, dynamics. It's all important that you start replicating these patterns, because in your previous songs, you're not doing that as much. It's more static and energy levels start to drop. You want to make sure you keep energy levels. If the melodic section was playing this whole drop, it would have made a huge difference. So this switch up here is critical. Lots of things here were strategically placed, and I appreciate it. Good job. Just work on your mix, man. That's one of the hardest things, getting a mix. But if you're using the template, I mean, it's not hard. So I hope you guys are using busing and you understand how important audio engineering is. All these templates are just audio engineering. Skrillex showed us all of it back in 2015 or something. He showed us his template and he's busing. That's how he gets it clean. He's just using simple audio engineering tricks that have been used since the 70s, 80s, and 90s, but we're using it now in our digital landscape in freaking Babelton. Babelton! All right, Lodon, good job. Good job in vain, falling down. Beautiful as always. Cover out, though, doesn't really match the vibe of what I just heard. I'll definitely try to match the vibe. Up next, we have Dreadful, a pitiful soul waiting to die. Jesus. Oh, a pitiful soul. Gosh. A pitiful soul waiting to die. Dreadful. Let's go ahead and hear. This is tragic. I see the light. It's bright. Oh, a smoothie. Oh. That is a pitiful soul waiting to die by Dreadful. Alright, very cool. So, lots of sick vibes. I love the sound. Real EDM-y. Once we get over here, it is a pretty abrupt transition from this amazing harmonic piece, the darkness. This actually pretends, it sounds like it's a breakdown. It's actually a build-up. So, just the whole transition here is very abrupt. There needs to be a breakdown before, like if we moved all these over here, there should be a breakdown and then the build-up, because that's how you'll be able to transition from this whole melodic harmonic bed into something where the energy slows down and then you slowly build the energy back up with the drop. But you just going from the melodic harmonic bed to the build-up sounds very unnatural, and you want to make sure that you get the transition better. You could just add, how much is this, 4 bars or 8 bars? Yeah, you add 8 more bars so that your full breakdown and build-up is 16 bars, which is real common timing. And then in your drops, unfortunately, the energy levels are very low. It's very slow, you know. There's basically one rhythm that we can dance to. It's dun 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 dun. It's 1 2 3 1 1 2 3 1 1 2 3. So if you see, we have the same rhythm basically playing the whole time for 16 bars. So after the first 4 bars of playing this rhythm, so after this 4 bars, it then starts to sound repetitive in every single phrase after that. These vocal fills are not enough to make, like, these aren't enough to like make people switch up the dance flow. If you had call and response, that would make people switch up the dance. Then at the beginning of each phrase, there's basically a switch up in the rhythm or the tone. And then that will keep people dancing in different sections each phrase. And it becomes interesting each phrase as well. So because you play the same tone at the same rhythm for 16 bars straight, with no calls, unfortunately the energy is very low. And it doesn't make sense because you could easily add calls to boost up the energy level like ×3. So like here, you would basically go like, boom. Well, the snare is where it starts. Always the 0.3 of the snare is where the response starts. So the call starts at the downbeat, the 33. It'd be like, boom. And we need this, right? Because that'll be considered the fill. And then we have another call right here. Taking up from the downbeat to the 0.3. Remember snare, that's where the headbang starts. So that's where the response starts. We do another boom right here. So like just a sub drop would be a different change in rhythm. Something slow goes boom, then it goes to fast. So we're going from slow to fast. So boom. Do another one. Boom. Having simple, like you would slowly switch up the call each time to add cool variation. But dude, I'm telling you, if you do that, it'll make a huge difference in the energy level of the song. Once again, it's electronic dance music. The goal is to make people dance. It's not for people to listen. People to fucking go crazy to, especially if you're making this genre. It's meant to headbang to. It's meant to fucking get lost to. A pitiful soul waiting to die. Obviously, sound design's on point. Energy, atmosphere's on point. You just basically need to get the energy levels even higher, the maximum. Oh, Maxi. Up next. Good job, Dreadful. That's A Pitiful Soul Waiting to Die, Dreadful. Up next, we have Chaffa with Super Snacks. Interesting, Super Snacks. I like fruit snacks.
blessed. Stop with the negative spin. If the wheels keep spinning, keep the pedal pressed. Let the road settle dance. Wait, what a perfect day. How did it manifest? I been on top if I drop. I was truly blessed.
Wait, what a perfect day. How did it manifest? I been on top if I drop. I was truly blessed.
I was truly blessed.
What the god? Man. Oh, that's super. Fuck. You for really? Man. Need some water. I'm gonna get me some water. That shit was. That's Super Snacks by Chaffa or Chaffa or Chaffa. Either one. But damn, dude. We're coming in hot with Super Snacks. The mix in general was not sounding the cleanest, sounding pretty muddy. We have really nice distortion going on. We do have some uncontrolled tails that we definitely need to tame. Let me listen to the difference between the first. You can tell in this, we have like a lot of the tails of the sounds are like layering on top of each other. So it almost sounds like all the basses are like one sustained bass. It's really hard to distinguish the difference between each note, unlike in your second drop. Like especially here on notes like this, where there's like a little tiny silence after it. That makes a huge difference in the dynamics and the flow of everything. Unfortunately, the first drop has none of that. The sounds are so good, nice sub. It's loud enough, wide enough, it's good. It's just the dynamics are fucked. You need to fix the dynamics so that we can tell the difference. There should be loud, quiet between each bass, essentially. Oh, this part is so awesome. These guns are heavy. They sound heavy in the mix. Oh. And then when you switch to higher pitch, it's so dirty. And the choice of your rhythmic flow here is very unique, man. I really am impressed. It's pretty perfect, but then you get into, I mean, dude, this is so hard and heavy, and then this drum fill comes, and it sounds like it's from the 1994 Windows XP. Like, there's no reason to have your drum fill so weak. You can easily add a drum bus. If you're using Ableton, all the tools are right there in front of you. Drum bus, super overpowered. You basically want a mono and a stereo signal playing at the same time. So you'll have 2 of these drum fills playing. Then you'll use saturation to make it fatter. Very easy to make this loud and make it match the heaviness that was played before it. Okay, and then drum processing. Now we listen and feel the snare. Feel how the snare sits behind in the mix and it's not up front, not powerful enough. The tone of it's really nice. It's punchy too, but it's like not loud enough, not intense. Really make sure you can double layer that snare, get that in the mix, make sure there's a dry and a wet. Dude, it'll be heavy. After you fix those things, this is going to be a really nice song. These, the hi-hats on this are too quiet. And these vocals are kind of cheesy when they play at a regular pitch. Like that. When it's lower, it's much, much better. And then if you keep them low and then just make sure they're louder, they sound like lost in a tunnel behind in the mix. We got to make sure these are, you know, up front, and then you can put them in a tunnel if you want that sound. If they're just not loud enough, you can get those a little bit bumped up as well. But dude, good job, man. I like that. That's Chaffa coming in with super snacks. Coming in hot. Up next, we have Ambrosia with no headbanging. No headbanging? That's a challenge? Are you trying to challenge us not to headbang? You want me to be still? We'll see. If I could be still, I'll just be still.
Tour, I'm trying to get swole so that my neck can handle the headbangs.
Oh.
You're going to continue to headbang?
Have to, Jimmy.
As your father, I'm telling you, no more headbanging.
Woo! I'm wanting the headbang. Oh, that's so hard not to. Okay, about to break. Whoa. No. What the?
Performing electronic dance music, or EDM, that means the music comes with a loud bass.
Headbang. That's the best way I can explain it. It'll be headbanging. You'll hear people up there screaming.
Hear people up there screaming.
That's the best way I can explain it.
This does not sound too happy about it. But I'm gonna believe her though. Anyways.
Headbang.
Cool. All right, that was pretty good, man. No headbanging at the beginning. I tried not to headbang. Pretty difficult. Why was it so difficult, you may ask? You may wonder, why did I want to headbang? Why did I want to dance like this? Why did I want my head to go like this? Because of the snare. When you're able to achieve such a punchy, thick, wide, beautiful, bumpy snare such as this, your head automatically, naturally wants to bang. This is a nice snare, man. And you putting no headbanging and challenging, very hard when you have a snare like this. So if we analyze such snare, you can listen to the lows, mids, highs. Listen to the pan snare underneath, like the tonal layer, with the regular dubstep snare. And then the transient is just so thick. There's a kick with it and a snare. And fat, man. You want to go like. So, in conclusion, have a fat snare, people will dance more. People be dancing, the snare's always on the 0.3, you know what I'm saying? People be hitting their dances on the 0.3. Oh, Lord have mercy, I'm sorry. Point threes, snares, fun time. That's how we get it done. Okay, so the drop in the second, not as danceable as this one. It's like 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, and it sounds like that come in, switch you up. You're like, switch up the rhythm. You're like, oh no. But in here, the sustain is kind of fucking up the flow. So the flow here to dance is 1, 2. It slows down significantly. 1, 2, 1, 2. Like because of the way the sub's moving, you don't want to dance in 1, 2, 3, 4, which is what we should be. That's how the first drop was. We're dancing just half time, which is 70 beats per minute or whatever you made, half it. So these are things that you might not be aware of when you're producing it because it sounds cool with all the sound design. But when you take a step back, listen and feel the rhythm that's playing, the danceable rhythmic flow, then you start to see issues. So just rework your flow, that your sub is, your sub or your sustain are working in ways to make people dance in the 1, 2, 3, 4 rather than the 1, 2. And then bada boom. Bada bang, you have people doing what your song tells you not to do. Headbang you. Classically, naturally. Good job. That was cool. Up next, we have Titanium by... Wait. What? Did you change the name of your song? We're going to do a double check on a double check. I don't know what's going on. Where is this song from? I don't know what's going on, man. Where is this song from? I'm going to hit down low, down low, down low. What you going to do? Want to down low now? It's already downloading it. It says it's Titanium. Did he change the song? Did he change the song? Nope, it's right here. There's a Get Busy. Okay. Interesting. All right, we're going to put that right here. Double check right here. Get Busy. Where's Titanium? Dude, I'm tripping. SoundCloud links, please. Was that a Parawane snare? For real? Titanium. No results. Bro, I'm so confused, dude. Where did this song come from? For real, man. Anyone in the chat know? I don't see it over here. I don't see that, man. I don't see that, man. Should we listen to it? I don't know. First, though, we got to get busy. See how I set that up right there, man? We have Get Busy by that guy, Canam. Get done.
Who the fuck is it that witty right now? Get busy with the witty right now. I'ma get busy with witty right now. I'ma get busy with witty right now. Get busy with witty right now. I'ma get busy with the witty right now. Get busy with right now. I'ma get busy with the witty right now. I'ma get busy with it right now. I'ma get busy with the witty right now. I'ma get busy with it right now. I'ma get busy with the witty right now. I'ma get busy with it right now. I'ma get busy with the witty right now. I'ma get busy with
right now. I'ma get busy. I said I'ma get. What you gonna do? I'ma get. Busy with the Riddy right now. Interesting. Getting busy with the Riddy right now. Alright, so that is Get Busy by that guy, Canam. I believe that's how you say it. So the Get Busy vocal is definitely over repetitive. It's very, very repetitive in this song, and it literally goes to the end. Something repetitive like that is not natural in like a song, like a dubstep song. You know, that's something more common in like house music, like doing super repetitive phrases and stuff like that, but you don't have to repeat it that much in this. And on top of it, you should have different phrases where the vocals like changing pitch. Maybe one of its regular pitch, another one's an octave lower, so that it's going back and forth and you're adding variation. Remember, house music is fast. It's 4 to the floor. That means when you're dancing, you're going. Your song is not 4 to the floor. It should be. It should have the 4 motion. We turn our metronome on 140. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's how fast our head should be bobbing based on what we're hearing. That's like how fast the rhythm is. But if we listen to this rhythm, that sound alone is not enough to make our head bounce at 140 beats per minute. To get our body and head moving to such a fast speed, you have to have enough layers and instruments to do so. definitely drums, you know. So naturally, we go straight to halftime, which is 70 beats per minute. So song off the rip is really slow, 70 beats per minute. You're bobbing like this. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. When the buildup starts, lots of drums start speeding up. So then we start to get towards the faster motions. But it's super quiet. -13 LUFS on a buildup is very, very quiet. You want it to be like -6 LUFS, you know, -7 LUFS. You want to get a lot louder because your drop should be at around like -6, -5 LUFS or louder. Now, this is pretty cool sound design. Listen, so you have like kind of a fake out. You have like 3 calls and a fake out. So you kind of overextend the timing in a way where the energy level starts to drop as soon as we hit the drop, which is not good. We want there to be maximum energy as soon as we hit this. So you want to really reduce the amount of calls that you have here. Like basically it should drop there. 1 call, then drop. But instead we have these extras. Just doesn't make sense, feels very unnatural. And in the song structure, you can work in like 4-bar sections and it'll be a lot easier to navigate that way. And then you want to work on call and response with the rest of the phrases so that it doesn't just sound like basses are just continuing. They almost sound like run-on basses. They should have structure to them, and the call, response, and fills will help you do that. And then lastly, the sustain sounds not like a sustained bass. It sounds more like a noise that you would have in the riser, like something that builds tension. It sounds very harsh in these phrases and it doesn't mesh with all the other basses around it. So be careful with adding sustained basses. Make sure that they match the tone of the sounds around it. You know, you want it to be in harmony. It would be best if it was in harmony. Okay, up next we have Siege with the Siege Takeover. The Siege Takeover. What shall be taken over by Siege? The world may never know until we listen to the song right now, so then the world may know after we listen to the song. Let's see the Siege Takeover.
The number you have dialed is not available at
present. Number.
Please leave your message after the beep.
Hey, it's me. I know we haven't spoken in a while and I just wanted to let you know that I miss you. Things have been weird, but I still think about you a lot. Do you think about me?
Sounds like a wet up here.
Can you imagine floating weightless, like a satellite in the black sky? But I still think about you a lot. Do you think about me? Things have been weird.
Dynamic boy. Damn, Siege, you. Okay, Siege, I see you, man. You're getting better, man, and I like to hear it. I love to see it. This is fun. This is the most energy I think I've felt out of a song from you. And on top of that, it's very creative. As soon as the song starts, we get entered into a, you know, an atmosphere.
The number you have dialed is not available at present. Please leave your message.
I know we haven't spoken in a while.
And the transition is proper.
Things have been weird.
Everything sounds nice until we get here. Sounds very muddy here. Very like the subs are competing with a lot of things. So just make sure you get really, you go heavy with the EQs on all your individual tracks. Because that's just sounding like a whole, a train wreck right here, man. You don't want to sound like no train wreck at any points. Turn down the sub and turn down the kick if you need to, but really start to make sure it doesn't sound so, it sounds muddy. It sounds like things are competing for space. You want to make sure that you open up some space. You know what I'm saying?
I still think about you a lot.
But the idea, like, and then pull it back for the vocal, and then pull it back. Very smart. That's what you want to do. Good energy. Build up sounds pretty empty. There should be a sub, like lows. Like there's no lows. It's just the kick for the lows, but there should be actual lows as well. And then the kick could be sidechained to whatever lows you're playing. You can add a lot more risers and impacts in there. That sounds so sick. If you could teach me how you'd made this. Like this Vox rack, dude, please, send me your Vox rack, man. Vox rack, please send, man, please, man. I'm just a young boy asking me for Vox rack, man. Vox rack, please send. Do this, do a little crappie. I'll send that to Siege later. Cause dang, Siege, take it chill, man. Okay, dynamics, very important. This is why we're dancing. Great fake out, by the way. The energy, like it's so cool how the energy is building up when the pitch is going down. You know what I mean? It's just crazy. That's how dance music works. You built so much tension up to this point that once we get here, you're like still building energy, and then you're using cool tricks to pitch it down. So like you're entering this new realm where music isn't usually, where you're building up energy while pitch is going down. It's almost like a, what's the thing in English where things are opposite? Onomatopoeia or something? It's almost like a musical onomatopoeia. Check it. Oh, and then you rise it back up, dudes. And then we bring it back to normal. And these little I'll call these little squishies. It goes to silent, literally. And oh my lord, when we're at, what is this? Maybe like -4 LUFS. And we go to straight silence. Boy, does that make a difference. And it's done very clean. Boy, we're at -1 LUF, bruh. So -1 LUF to this, it's just intense dynamic shifts. And this is why Ableton is GOAT. Because you can use audio, make these fades, make cool dynamic switches, kill your tails of stuff so that things are clean. These glitches, things are just well placed. Song structure's good, arrangement's good. The only thing in this song that didn't sound good was those downbeats and this section where the sub is incorrectly. The sub is going like fast, but we lose so much intensity of the sub in this phrase. So it sounds very empty compared to our normal. So the sub should be sustained, but you should cut out silence so that the sub is like stompy. So it's like it'll be like boom, boom, boom 3 times. Go back. So the sub rhythm here just needs to be improved upon to keep the energy levels high and keep the energy levels matching around, matching all the other phrases around it. Good job, Siege. That was freaking awesome, man. Awesome to hear you improve. Awesome to hear a banger. It's the Siege takeover. Let's go. Up next, we got Gaunt. Or Gaunt? Or Gaunt with Hot Plate. Get done. First try at dubstep. We hear a snap. We don't usually hear snaps. Got a little snippy. Hot plate. Wait. Plate. Hot plate. Alright, cool. That's Hot Plate by Gaunt. First try at dubstep, it's pretty cool. I would say that the snaps feel very unnatural to a song that's supposed to be dark. Sounds like a DJ Mustard trap beat, which sounds very poppy. So I would like layer that snap with different crazy sounds to make something new. Make it sound more electronic-y, dubstep-y. Okay, so the rhythm of your sub starts playing right away. So basically, like, this is supposed to be a tease, but not enough frequencies are taken out. So it basically just sounds like the drop without drums. Kind of sounds a little unnatural. You really want to filter more so that it feels like a tease. The more frequencies you take away, the better. Because as soon as we get to the drop, that's where we open up that filter all the way. All the frequencies get blasted at you at one time, and then it becomes very impactful. But we don't get that here. We listen to basically the drop frequencies as is. When the drop starts, it's the same frequency, same energy. Unfortunately, the energy is actually less than when it was here. It sounds heavier the first time you hear it, but when we get here, it just sounds repetitive, and the energy levels are starting to decrease because it's starting to sound repetitive. When it's repetitive, it's predictable. If you can predict what's going to happen next, you can be sure that the energy isn't going to increase. If you know what's going to happen next, then basically You know what's going to happen next. We have to be surprised. The point of all these different phrases is to have slight changes, cool new things to keep the listener engaged. One thing here is that there's no really call and response. It's just the main rhythm playing the whole phrase. So basically like the same want, want, when really you could switch it up in some of your calls. So it could be like boom, and then slow down, and then you can go to the fast want, and go back to the boom, and then you start going back and forth with rhythms. Otherwise, you're just playing the same rhythm the whole time. Also, in a song like this, the sub should be going quarter note bass. Like that's the rhythm we're dancing to in this music. 1, 2, 3, 4. So the sub should be doing that as a majority, and then you sprinkle in the fast rhythmic subs. Listen here. So go da 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 da. The sub is going fast, but right here you play some quarter note subs. This is really rare to hear in your song, but it shouldn't be. This should be the main rhythm of your sub, and then you'll barely put in these fast ones. So yeah, just mess with your sub more so that you can get people dancing more. It'll help. It'll help, my guy. That's hot plate. Up next we have Splits with Shiver. Are we gonna be shivering? Check. Oh, they know we're about to check. Not that sub. Drop sub. Let's go. That's mono, boy. That's Shiver by Splits. Very nice. Oh my gosh. The sound design in this, really great. It reminds me of Jekyll and Hyde. It's really a nice, distorted, clippy, just grungy sound. Unfortunately, the sub sounds a little bit too clipped. I know this is the sound that you're going for, and this is the sound that we need, but it looks like you went a little bit too high on clipping and distorting your sub, starting to take up too much of the mix. Starting to sound muddy. You really want to dial that back just a little bit so that you get that perfect balance between distortion, clipping, muddiness, cleanliness. Really an art form, mixing something as heavy and loud like this. I would suggest strongly adding a theme. Very simple, basic stuff going on here. If you have a vocal lead or a synth lead, it will make a huge difference in your intro and all around song with the energy levels and atmospheres and vibes. Sounds really good, but we're lacking in rhythmic flow. So this rhythm is playing for a very long time without any breaks. Plus we just get thrown into this rhythm as well. Yeah. So only until this last 4 bars is when we start to get some type of variation, and it's very minimal. After this first 4 bars, energy levels start to drop. Energy levels go low. And by the time we hit that part where you start to add slight variations, it really doesn't make too much of a difference at that point because the energy level has gone down significantly in this section, which is about 8 bars. So you need call and response. If you start here with a call, something different, maybe like something fast. So if you're doing the quarter note sub, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, then the call can be slowed down or sped up. So it could be like, ooh, just slow down, or you can do sped up, like, dong, dong. Then we'll repeat. Having those calls will make a huge difference in the danceability of the track, how the track is perceived by everyone. Otherwise, it just sounds like run-on basses, and the sound design is not enough to hold up. You need people to be dancing while the sound design is sick. Do that. It'll make a huge difference. Good job, though. Sounded nice, distorted. Loving the Jekyll and Hyde vibes. Loving the sick basses. Lastly, we have Triack with 1, 2. Last submission in here. Let's get it done. Alright, Triack, I'll see you with the 40-second song. Unfortunately, there's no sub. There's no bass in this. There's a tiny little sub right here. And then there's no sub here. Actually, it's there. It's just really small. It's not here. So, yeah, because of that, it feels very empty. It feels very low energy. The frequency spectrum needs to be filled. Lows, mids, highs. The sub is there, but when you compare the low volume sub to the high volume mid basses and everything else, the sub is almost non-existent. So you want to fix that, make your sub super fat. Watch my Dripment sub video, and you'll get the best sub in life. So do that. Add it to your song. Gonna make a big difference, my guy. All right, you guys. Thank you for watching. Thank you for submitting. This is how we get it done. I hope you guys learned a lot of different things while listening to these songs and me giving out tips. Check out the new website, dripment.com. Hit me up if you need any lessons. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to these videos. So much more coming soon. Have a great day, guys. Stay freaky fresh. Later.